Well, yeah, listener, I think we talked about this. Everybody's a GOAT for their own era, right? I think GSP wasn't recognized real early because he got knocked out by Matt Serra, right? And he had to come back and show his dominance again. And that he did in, emphatic fashion. And I think he did it beyond the point where Anderson had started to slide already. Like, I don't think GSP's retirement came before Anderson got knocked out by Weidman, or maybe it did. It was very close, right? Similar eras. And what is my point? Like, they were both seen as, 1 and 2. And I know there was a dream fight from the two of them for a long time. I think that GSP is very technically sound. I think he's definitely like a boxer in boxing, meaning hit and not get hit. Like, his talents, even though he came from Kyokushinkai, which is kind of a vicious style of karate. You can even get old videos of him doing Basai Dai on YouTube, and they're hilarious. He's got hair and the whole deal. And I used to do Basai Dai as a kid, so it's funny. So even though, George had that background, George also became an elite wrestler, even though he was never a wrestler, right? He used to train with the Canadian Olympic team. And I think that double leg, his power double, allowed him to hit, not get hit, right? Like, once the game's on the ground, especially when you're on top, it's a much different fight, right? Like, I don't think George liked to stand in exchange. I don't think George wants to train with Sean Strickland. In fact, I watched a video with him very recently where he was very anti-hard sparring. Everything's got to be playful. You got to become elusive. Boxers can do it because they have big gloves and headgear, none of which makes any sense to me. But listen, George did things for his style, what worked for him, and it worked for him very well. Obviously, you're talking about a guy who went up and beat Michael Bisping for the middleweight title after he was already retired. So to call GSP a GOAT, I think, is well-deserved, especially after he defeated Bisping, and Anderson was, by that time, way past the decline. He had already been probably knocked out a few times. I think that his name would have been in the hat. John Jones accomplished a lot of things very, very young, but it took him some time to put his stamp on it, and put his stamp on it he did in emphatic fashion. So, like I said to you in my last video, listener, I think there's a GOAT for every era. I think Anderson and George exchanged that title, or shared it, if you will, for a time. I think John Jones inherited that mantle, and he's led it till this time. And I think BJ had it before GSP had it, and before Anderson had it. I definitely think GSP as a GOAT. He's not my cup of tea. I don't like his style, but that doesn't mean anything. He's still awesome. Everybody, read my book, Warrior of the Light.